What is up, guys? Welcome to part 3 recap. So this is probably the most important recap of the series, at least for early on, and that's going to be because we're going to go over our gear. If you guys have not seen, this is a step-by-step progression guide. These are recap videos over the long-form guide videos I've been uploading. This is part 3, so just know if this is the first video you found, you need to go back to part 1. That'll be linked in the description. You can follow along step-by-step, make a new account. With the new account, I have a promo link you can use. You could use another promo link, but I really like mine, so that's the one we are using. And with that promo link, you're going to be getting Narma right out of the gate. Free legendary, just got buffed, super strong. We're getting to a point where we're about to see how strong she is within the series. Next up, you're going to get level 10 Venomage. From there, level 20 Lightsworn, and level 30, you're going to get Tagoar. And we just hit level 30 in our progression, so we have gotten Tagoar. So that is the download link in the description. Now, from here, we'll start going over the progress at the end of part 3 of the guide. So what I wanted you guys to do was farm a bit and try to get some gear. Okay, that's just the general gist of it, and get the enough fodder along the way to ascend our character to level or 5-star, and then ascend them to 5-star, because that is the current mission we're on. So whenever I do the guides, I always end up having this part where we usually should probably wait till you do Aethel to this, but it doesn't really matter doing Aethel to this because we need to step away from the missions every single time to push campaign further so we can start working on other missions. So with this, doing that, getting the gear for our characters, we can now tackle slightly higher versions of each of the dungeons. So I'm going to go over the gear that we have gotten and show exactly where I'm at. So right here, before we get into that, I have gotten enough fodder for my sniper to put her up to 5-star, 5-star ascender. The reason we're doing this because 1 and 2 stars take very little resource to ascend, and whenever we're going through the guide, a lot of people are going to send their Aethel on accident, or it's very hard for me to stop people from doing that when making a guide series. Even if I followed step by step a long guide series, someone's still going to mess it up. So by doing this, it covers to where no matter what, if you did do that, we're all going to be on the same page, and we need to do this kind of anyway. We're wasting a tiny bit of resource because we are going to use our sniper as fodder to put into our first 6-star, but with that, it costs so little. It's a very small stamina difference that's going to be the end result of on the account. So I don't know, I just said sorry, that was very sloppy. But going in, I did get my sniper up to level 40. I used a lot of potions and brews along the way for boosting up these characters, but I also was farming. So with the farming, we were farming for the speed set gear to try to make sure our bottom pieces are all correct main stat on our core 5 team. Our core 5 team is going to be your starter for anyone following exactly along with me. It's Aethel. If you have Kale or whoever, that's fine. Then Tuanaric, we made sure to get defense, speed. You can do defense, HP, and speed. That's fine too. It's what I probably will end up moving over to. But either way, the goal with her is to get her bulky. Now, a lot of the gear on these characters, I ended up just putting on whatever I had to try to match sets or something with good stats. So this one had HP, crit rate, crit damage. It's not the worst, and it's a 5-star shield. And when going through this, you can do any gear you have that has good substats. So whenever you're farming the missions earlier, you're going to get some random pieces. But the biggest thing is don't take this gear above plus 12 yet. Only ones that are worth taking plus 12 are potentially the boots, or these bottom pieces, and preferably only the 5-star pieces here you can take to plus 12. An example of that is going to be Narma. So Narma, I did put 2 of the login perception set pieces on her, and then I ended up putting this shield on her. It actually has really good substats for being a rare shield. So I went ahead and took this to plus 16 because we needed to upgrade 1 of each piece to plus 16 for this part. The reason for that is we're going to move it over to our Aethel to finish our apprentice pass mission of having all plus 16 gear on her. But we tried to take whatever the best pieces were, and this one, the solid subsets together. Then from here, I had an HP percent piece that overall, this is perfect for Tagoar. It does have the res, HP, defense, and it did end up getting speed on last row, which is even luckier. This piece is horrible, but it's going to have that flat 50% stat that's going to help us. So those were the pieces I took to plus 16 mixed with what Aethel has on her. So with Aethel, our goal was to get crit rate, and then I'm still on flat attack right now because we are trying to wait to get the next batch of Lifesteal gear. If we do not get a good piece of Lifesteal gear from the second batch of the Apprentice Pass, what I'm going to end up doing is having to go farm for some kind of piece in Chapter 9. That's just going to be what's going to solve her and get me to a spot where she's on Lifesteal gear and she will be able to farm campaign missions for us, which whenever I get there, I will do that. And then all you have to do from there is just copy exactly what I have. All these pieces are really bad, so I'd like to try to or really hoping that the next batch of gear I get at least has something better that has some crit rate, attack percent. This piece at least has 2 stats. This one doesn't really help us at all. This one has some accuracy and crit damage, but still not great. And then we got a lot of work to do on her, to say the least. Okay, so from here, the next character is going to be, let's go over Narma again. I just went ahead with HP speed for the bottom 3 pieces. You can do defense, but she does value HP pretty highly because she heals all allies based off her max HP. Now, one thing that you can do as well is if you have an accuracy chest that dropped, you can put that on. But the problem with accuracy at the beginning of the game is the dungeons we're fighting, you don't need that high of accuracy quite yet. And you are able to get a banner with accuracy on the banner. Now, with the accuracy portion, we also are going to mostly be putting our Tagoar as our lead for our teams. With putting Tagoar as a lead, that's free 80 accuracy right there. So as long as we have that, we shouldn't need accuracy too much. We're more on the side of needing survivability right now. Now, from here, the Tagoar, we were looking for HP speed. Now with the speed, I ended up getting lucky and had a pair of boots here that had speed on it. And then I had these 2 pieces from the campaign, and these work just fine. They're actually not bad at all. So if you have this set, you put it on, but the main things you were looking for is just trying to get speed, defense, and HP on your Tagoar for substats. And you do not have to finish sets. If you had a good 5-star helmet that popped up at some point, you can put that on if it had some decent substats like speed, defense, HP, and can work from there. I will be making a more in-depth specific gearing video just for you guys that are still kind of struggling to understand gear. This is just going to be trying to match what I have for the bottom pieces. Keep farming the speed set from the stages of chapter 6 and try to get the main stat for the bottom, or just sort by your gear. And even if it's not speed set, it's just about making sure you have the proper primary stats. So if I click this, even this 4-star crit rate boot would be okay. I could mix that with broken set, and as long as I'm speed main stat boots, we're in a good spot. It's just getting the 2 pieces of the set. You do get a little bit extra boost from it, but it's not the end of the world if you have to break the set and lose a little bit of stat for now, because this is still mostly just going to be throwaway gear that we're going to upgrade over time. We just need some kind of gearing baseline. Now for my Venomage, he's the one that's struggling the most. I ended up having this perception gear. This is flat HP, not great. And this is flat defense, also not great, but I can get the set bonus out of this, and it keeps me from having to farm more. And with it's giving me accuracy as well. That's the thing with perception set. It gives 40 accuracy. Venomage needs accuracy. So this just ended up working the best. And then I did have these 2 pieces. I decided to mix them together. This had base speed at the start, and whenever I upgraded it, got an extra thing of speed. That's going to help quite a bit. This ended up rolling speed on a 4-star weapon. And then I had this 4-star helmet to pair with one of the 4-star boots I had. You guys do not have to have 5-star boots. You can use 4-star boots. The difference between the speed main stat 4-star versus 5-star, it's going to be a 5 speed difference when they're maxed out. So it's not the end of the world. Your gear doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to make sure on the bottom we have the proper main stats for each character. So if you're curious, you can go back through all the different gear that I just showed and try to get as close as you can. Doesn't have to be the same set, just the same main stat is the important part of this. Okay, so that is the core team of characters. Our next goals that we're going to be working on is getting through the missions. So within the missions portion right here, we have to send a character to 5-star. Again, I said that I farmed all the things. Whenever I farm up fodder characters, I put them in my master vault. I just set them aside, get them out of my inventory, and once they're at the spot that I need them to be, while I'm farming, I just keep moving them over into here, and this is just my little storage. Your reserve vault, you can just put any other 3-star characters that you get, just to be safe that you don't want to get rid of. So, for example, I could throw my Lightsworn and Avenger in these until you know if you want to keep these 3 stars or not, and then try to work as much as you can with only 2 stars. Now, with this, if you do get duplicate characters, so as I was farming Chapter 6, I had multiple of these hairs drop. With having them drop, I knew I need one for the fusion, and I'm probably going to want one to use for Faction Wars, which we're going to get way more into Faction Wars in this episode of the guide. By the way, someone asked in the last one, I will cover a lot deeper into it now that we're getting to a point where we pretty much can. I will talk more about Faction Wars, but once you have all the versions of it you need, so Harris I'm only going to need 2 of. What I did was the 3rd Harris that dropped, I went ahead and I'm going to use it as fodder. So once you have your base 3 stars and have your version you're going to keep, any extra ones, that's just going to help you make faster 6-star characters, which is great. So now the next missions that we're going to be working on, besides going through that, is we are going to be trying to ascend all of our characters to 3-star ascension, but that will be going through the missions. We are going to do that along the way. So as you see here, we have to send this, which we have what we need to boost our sniper up to 5-star ascension within my inventory. And then from there, we're going to beat all of these missions. I have to go back to the first chapter and make sure they're all 3-starred. Then we have the arena mission. With the arena mission, once your character is on these speed sets, you are going to have a lot easier time in arena because you will be taking first turn over the people that do not have their characters geared to that speed yet. So you'll be able to take out a couple of the characters before they even get a turn. Arena will be a lot easier for a little bit, but it will get hard again until we build our actual arena team. But just try to cycle through and get whatever characters you can find. Now with upgrading artifacts to plus 18, we're going to be getting that new Lifesteal set. Hopefully there's a piece or two in there that we're going to take up and switch. Then it's just following these missions along even further. Now, for those of you guys that are completely caught up or are struggling with the gear, that is the biggest thing. Is I saw a big comment about when I farmed, I didn't get any of the 5-star gear that you got. You don't have to have 5-star. You can work with 4-star. As you see, the 5-star were just bonuses along the way. The 4-stars ended up being what I had to use for Tagoar, and Venomage I had to go try to flex into my other gear in order to make it work, and that's fine. And if you are completely out of stamina, the thing is we have 1,000 gems right here, and we're able to earn a lot more through other means. These gems are going to be used for refreshing stamina. Those of you guys that are getting the next part of the guide, I'm going to say this exact same thing. Once you're here, if you're free to play, you have the option to open the gem mine, or you can open the guardian rings with your gems. Those are the main spots that your gems are going to go that are going to give you long-term progression and continue playing through the game. What I always do with my accounts, and people might disagree with me, but while your keeps are still all open, so if you go into dungeons, we have 3 days left on all of our keeps. If your keeps are all open, then you are better off, in my opinion, spending your gems all for energy to get through as many of the Arbiter missions as you can until the keeps close. Once the keeps close, then you start saving your gems, buy the gem mine, buy the guardian ring. And as you get further in these missions, you are going to start getting way more gems for each of the challenges. So that is the goal, is to get to the portion. It is going to be the next portion after this. Right here is 150 gems, and once you get to the next portion, there's even bigger gem piles that you can start getting into, which is just going to give you the early game progress. And the reason for this is the more you unlock on your account by using gems for stamina, the more you can get each day. So our goal is to get to a point where we're level 35 to have our advanced missions. We can get a little bit of extra gems from that per day, and then we are going to be trying to unlock our Doom Tower. Once Doom Tower is unlocked, you can earn stamina each day from that, from going through stages, plus a ton of other rewards. So that takes level 40. That means putting those gems in earlier, reaching that sooner, means we have that many more days of getting resources versus if we were to hold on to the gems or spend them elsewhere. We don't have so many refreshes. We can't get the EXP on our account to level up, and we lose all of those days of bonus that we could get. So that is going to be the recap of part 3 of the guide. Is mainly just make sure you have the gear done and make sure you are good to ascend your 1 or 2 star character you boosted. Most of you probably did sniper along with me to this portion. And then that's where we're going to start the guide. So I'm going to go start recording the guide from here. Thank you guys for staying along with me. If you have any questions, I'm trying to make sure I answer them as we go, but do not stress if you did not get perfect gear from that. It's just about slowly getting all the different pieces. And if you have to refresh your stamina in order to get some of those pieces on there, that's okay. And you don't have to fully fill it up like I did. Even if you have 1 or 2 pieces, like my Aethel's still messed up. And then my Narma actually turned out pretty good, but my Tagoar, not great on its 2 4-stars, and Venomage was just whatever random stuff I could put on. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just that is going to be your goal, is trying to get some of those pieces along the way. So don't stress, you have tons of time, you are fine. I know a lot of people are going to feel like they're behind me at this point. You will not be. Just try to get a couple of those pieces, level them up, and work along with me. So thank you guys for watching. Again, any other questions, or if you're feeling stressed about anything, comment them down below. I'll respond to a bunch of comments today while I'm making this episode of the guide, and you'll be fine. But thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Peace out. Welcome to part 4 of the guide. Make sure if you're getting to this part, this is a multi-step guide series. If you have not watched the previous parts, make sure you catch up on that. And most importantly, make sure you watch the part 3 recap. As the last video uploaded with the part 3 recap, I went over everything you need to make sure you have done before we're starting this part of the guide. Now, those of you guys that do not know what this is multi-part series, you need to watch from part 1 up to this point, preferably. And we are using my download link going through this. I'm trying to cover if you're using other download links to an extent as well, to the best I can, but it's really hard when I don't know which characters you have, and that's going to become part of the game though whenever we get to a certain point soon with everybody. Just so you guys know, is you're going to pull different characters on your shards, and you're going to have different characters. You don't know if you should build them or not. You don't know if they're good, where they're good, or whether I should build them over this other character. The only way to really know the answers to that is asking questions. The best place is going to be Discord. There's a Discord link down below. Also, if you're still looking for a clan, we have like 3 to 4 full clans now from this guide series. It's been like, what, 3 days, which is really funny. So all of you guys that joined the clans, thank you. Hopefully you're having fun with the game. Those of you guys made this far, hopefully you're still enjoying it. Now, the last part of the guide was hard. Okay, I told you guys we needed to farm gear, get characters ready to be ascended for this mission, and try to get our core characters all with proper bottom substat gear, which go watch the part 3 recap to make sure I go over all my gear in that video. You can check along to make sure you're on the same page as me. But now I'm going to go ahead in. The first thing is we have to go to our missions, and we need to ascend a champion level 5. To do that, I'm going to go in, I'm going to upgrade my sniper's rank. I do have all of my characters that I've been farming up to put into her in my extra vault. So I always put my characters in my master vault at the beginning of the game just to keep my inventory organized. So I'm going to be taking 4 stars and throwing her up to 5-star. Once I do this, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade. And now I can ascend her to level 5. And as you see, it costs like no potions whatsoever. And that's why we did it this way. It saves you a lot of resource. If you used a 1-star instead of sniper as a 2-star, it's even cheaper. But we added sniper to 3 stars, so we went ahead with that. So I'm going to go ahead and click ascend. And now our progress mission is done. So go ahead out, claim this. And now the next thing, before we get moving too far, we're going to go over promo code and everything once I get back as well. But you need to make sure you have gotten 3 stars for every location of the campaign on normal difficulty. A lot of you have already gone back and done this. I still haven't finished it, so I just had to go through these missions real quick. I will just be taking my Aethel, my Tagoar. If you guys need to go, just look at the map here, see if there's any that you do not have 3-starred, and go make sure you 3-star them with your 2 core characters. But once you're done with that, I'll meet you back here. We'll go over promo codes. Make sure you turn off super raids with this so you're not doubling down the stamina used, and meet you back here once you are 3-starred on all your stages and have your first character ascended. Okay, now a couple things to cover. Once you have gotten all your 3-star, you can go ahead and claim this mission. Now we're on to the arena mission. So you're going to have to defeat 50 champions. That one's not too bad to do, but with our new team and all the speed boots on all the characters, arena is going to be a lot easier than it was earlier on, but we still are going to be having to build an arena team. Okay, so along the way, you guys made it to the forge. Now, one of the things you can do within this is we have a little bit of our faction war materials to craft. With Faction Wars, I'm going to cover it a little bit more shortly going into this, but just know you're not going to be able to tackle it too hard. If you want to go super hardcore into it, you can try. I'm going to give you guys the ways to do so. But the first thing I want you to do is try to craft a couple pieces of perception sight gear. So with this, as you farm Faction Wars, you're going to get drops, and you're going to be starting. They give you some free stuff to make a couple crafts with. There's a chance you get a decent piece out of this, but that can help you offset your when you're farming, trying to get the speed set stuff. This can maybe give you a piece, so I'm going to go ahead and just go craft these, see if I'm able to get anything. I will start with this, so that's a flat chest, not ideal. And then on to the next one, we got purple shield. It's not bad, it's got crew rate and HP, so this isn't too bad for a 6-star chest, so that already potentially usable. And lastly, we end up with a helmet that's not too bad either. HP, defense, crit damage. It's only 5-star, but 5-star is fine. Now, we do have materials here that we can utilize, but I would like to make sure I have more charms before doing so. If you want to go ahead and rip them, you can. But the problem is with these charms, they're going to give you the ability, if I click over here, you have a 2x chance of getting the highest rank, which for this would be a 5-star. And then next up, the rarity charm is going to make it to where you have a higher chance of getting a 2x higher chance of getting the next rarity up of being either purple or gold, gold. So the rarity of the gear versus the star of the gear. Okay, so I'm only going to craft those 3 pieces, and since I don't have the charms, we will get those over time. You get them from your login packs a lot. Now, once you are done with that, I wanted to make sure you guys you can also do it over here for the resilient set, sorry. Go ahead but since I only have one, I'll just craft one for right now and wait till I have more. I just want to show you that this is in the game. So it's a weapon with speed and crit damage. Not too bad, actually, even though it's only 5-star. But okay, there's a couple pieces of gear. Go ahead and check your craft, see how many of the materials you have. You are going to get your login rewards from that. And now I want to show you stamina locations. The first thing, going into this before, we'll get into faction wars later into the video because it's not something you can really tackle yet. Just make sure you're doing it each day, whatever the highest difficulty you can. For your starter, the first 7 days are where that is important. But I want to go over gyms, stamina, and everything. So I just covered this in the part 3 recap, but you have your gym mine. This costs 500, and you will get gyms for the life of your account. You can upgrade 2 more times. It costs 1500. Total gems. So you will get that pretty quickly, especially if you're doing events and tournaments. You will be able to get all the gems needed for that and get it done and knocked out. But before we're going to do that, there's also the Guardian Ring, where you want to unlock each one just for the 300 gem. That's another 1200, so 2700 gems. If you're a spender, you can go ahead and do this and knock it out. It's going to give you a lot of progression long term on your account. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a 3-star character, and I'll just throw Harris in there to get her to make sure there's always something in here, so you're getting passive progress on your account. When you have 5 of these, it does add up a lot. But before we put any gems to that, I want to explain what I do with my guides again. I just covered this in the last video, like I said. But going in, as long as my keeps are all open, I am going to be using my gems for refreshing stamina, because the reason for this is the further you get within the missions, the more return things you get, including stamina, including more gems. And as you make it through all of this, you are able to, one, level up your account to where you can start getting into the other content. One of the big contents is going to be Doom Tower. This is going to give you extra stamina. You get so many keys per day. You can go in and burn them. And there are bosses that make it pretty hard, but you want to get Doom Tower unlocked as quick as possible to get some of those rewards back. And secondly, trying to get to rank 35 of your account is super important, because then you unlock advanced quests and can start getting some rewards back from that. So you have the option of spending this and being out of stamina, or you can spend your gems on stamina refreshes, just clicking it, use 40 gems, and you're going to just burn through those, keep farming if you're needing to farm more speed set gear or whatever you need to do at the time. We are going to be burning a lot of them just to make it through the missions for the Arbiter series. So it's not a bad thing. You're out of stamina. For me, I do still have quite a bit of stamina over. I have not taken all the Call of the Arbiter here. I have like 800 stamina, but once I'm out of that, I'm going to be utilizing my gems to make sure I make as much progress within the Arbiter missions as possible, because we would rather get to that rank 35, rank 40 and get those rewards that we can, versus taking forever to get there, because we can only get our daily regen stamina. That's all we're going to be able to get. And if you're doing that, it's going to take you a week or two to get to rank 40, versus you'll be able to get there in a couple days if you have the time to grind. So that is the stamina talk real quick. Again, you also have a couple places to check. Go to your progression rewards, claim anything here. There's another 50 gems there that I haven't grabbed. And then you're also going to have your Plarium points. You can grab your stamina out of here. It's also multi-battles. I did buy packs at the beginning. If you have missed that part, I bought enough I did not buy anything to give me progress, but I bought enough to open a clan, so that's why I have these, but I'm not claiming them. Okay, I do have all this sitting here. I'm not claiming any of it, don't worry. I'm still technically free to play, just not technically free to play. Okay, so I'm just trying to get across to you, if you're stressing about, I'm going to not have enough to do this, or this, do not stress. As long as you're following along, you're to a good point so far. And you know what to work on, okay? It might take you longer than others to get to a certain spot, but even if you farm for an extra 2 hours of like 200 gems of farming, you're still going to be in a good spot, so don't stress. Now, the next thing we want to do going into our missions is we are going to check out our pass. So we have our Arbiter Apprentice Pass. One of the other things I told you to do was make sure you have one piece of gear of each type to level 16. So what we're going to do here is go in and we're going to put one of each onto our Arbiter. So I'm going to sort by filter, show my equipped, and then I'm going to hide my set filters and then sort by primary stats. Or I don't know how I'm going to do this, but what I need to do is move my plus 16 piece of gear over to my starter, because once she has all plus 16 pieces on her, you are able to get an extra 15 points, which will unlock the next batch of lifesteal gear that we can get. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to just remove these for now. It's going to make this easier. So let me remove these 3 pieces from my Narma, because those were my best pieces. that I was able to get the 5 stars. So go ahead and remove. Try not to sell them. If you sell them, it's going to hurt you a little bit, but then I'm going to go into here and just do it this way instead of trying to sort for now. So let me go ahead and equip this and equip this. And lastly, go ahead and equip the chest. So there we go. Once we do that, it's going to finish our Princess Passion mission. And now all we have to do is go move the gear back onto our other characters. So once you're done with that, grab your Princess Passion mission. I'll move the gear back in a second. We're going to go ahead over here, claim this. And now we have the second Lifesteal gear. And now our hope is that some of this gear is decent. So we're going to go back to our Aethel. We're going to go ahead and remove this gear from her. And then, sorry, I had... once I was in the sort menu, I was my brain turned off, so I apologize there. So now we're going to go down to our Lifesteal and check out the new gear, see if any of it is good. That's already better. All right, so that's attack and crit rate, has the potential to be way better. Next up, HP crit damage, so much better. That piece is definitely getting used. HP crit rate, I think that's already going to be better. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's already a huge increase. All 3 of those pieces are going to be better, which sadly that means I'm going to have to take my Lifesteal gear and move it to another character. And I don't really have another damage character right now, but that's fine. So next up, we're hoping for crit rate. We got defense, not ideal. Attack percent, we got res, that's terrible. And speed, we got speed. Okay, so we got speed for the boots. That is so big, except the sad part is I already have plus 16 boot. We'll have to move that to another character. But we did get one of the good pieces. If you did not get any of the bottom pieces, the arm, the chest, or the boot, I'm going to show you what to do. Just keep working with what you got for right now. But now I got lucky. That is super exciting that I got lucky enough to where I don't have to go do this next part. But what we're going to be doing in order to get our Aethel up to where we need to be, if you did not get any of the proper crit rate, attack percent, or speed main stat boots for your Aethel, what we will do for that, I'll just give you a little thing for it real quick, is we're going to go to Brutal Campaign, and once we get to Vladimir Strait, we are able to farm for Lifesteal gear. It's going to be common Lifesteal gear, but as long as you get a 5-star of whichever piece you need, you can farm either speed main stat boots, you can farm for an attack percent chest. We will get there shortly, but that will be the way to kind of counteract not getting good gear from that set. So there's a lot of luck involved in this, and yes, this could take you a little bit, but you could end up using a 4-star piece of gear, and it's not going to be hard for you to farm, and you'll make some progression along the way. But I just want to let you know that's what you would go do, is go to Vladimir Strait, farm for either crit rate gauntlets, a 4-star or higher, boots, speed, 4-star or higher, and then chest. Preferably you want a 5-star one, which means I'm going to have to go farm a 5-star chest from Battles of Aravia, ideally, but you can work with a 4-star. For now, and she will get strong enough once we 6-star her to still be able to farm campaign. So that's what you'll be doing. Give me a second to re-put my gear on my characters, and I'll meet you back here and show off the final result of what we just accomplished. Okay, so I moved gear back on my characters, and I went ahead and raised some of my Aethel's new Lifesteal set. And the problem is I'm still on this flat attack piece. That means I'm going to have to go farm for an attack percent chest. I don't even have a 4-star attack percent chest right now, so that's where I'm going to be going. And along the way, I'm going to be taking fodder, and I'm going to be boosting up my other characters, just whatever fodder characters I can, try to take them up some levels along the way. But I am running out of silver, so you guys are probably going to be in near the same situation. I'm at 1.34 million silver, starting to get low. One of the ways that I can solve this, I can click here, and we're going to sell all of our gear that's 1-star and 2-star. Now we will not have to worry about keeping it. 3-star gear we can go ahead and hold on to. I personally will probably sell it anyway, but 1 to 2-star gear, I'm just going to sell all of this. It's going to give me, it's not a lot, but 215,000. We'll go ahead and take that. And then from here, what I always do is go in and I'm going to take the arms, the chest, and the boots. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go down to primary stats. So with primary stats, with the arms, chest, and boots, I'm going to do flat HP, flat attack, and flat defense. Now with this, if you're using any piece and I've upgraded it, like the 6-star pieces that you get for free, or the other, like this Lifesteal piece I'm keeping, but going in, I'm going to go ahead and sell any of this. The biggest thing is any of these pieces that you have that have these substats, as long as they're not boots, if they have high speed, they can still be useful. But all of this other gear, just scroll down real quick, like I got this piece, I'm not going to care about it. I'm going to go ahead and sell all this. This is going to be pieces we are never going to use. Gives me another 500,000 silver, a little bit to work with, not a ton, but we're never going to end up using flat pieces early on in the game unless they're 5 or 6-star. So if you want to, and the only reason you do that is for the speed. So if you want to be super safe, what you can do is sort or select your 1 to 2-star, 3 to 4-star, or 3 and 4-star, and you can just sell these. So anything under 4-star, we aren't going to really care about. You It's just like this. If it had speed potentially, because it's purple, it could give us decent speed. So if you want to be super safe, you can also go here and select only up to blue. That'll be the safest option. But for me, I know I'm not going to use any of the gear because I've seen what else popped on my account. But if you want to be super safe, just copy what's on my screen right here, and you can sell all of this as long as you are flat HP, flat attack, flat defense. Do not click anything else within this. But I'm going to go ahead and sell all of mine now. I'll keep my purple, but that gives me another 200,000. So let's just do that so we're safe and didn't get rid of any potentially good gear. Okay, that's a way to just quick sell crap that you're never going to be able to end up utilizing on your characters. Now you can go through and sell more. A lot of the 3-star gear you're going to end up just getting rid of, but to be safer right now, that's just a way to get a little extra silver on your account. There's also this way here. You can click this, go to the Call to Arbiter, and you're going to be able to get, I think it's 500,000 silver by just clicking to watch the trailer. So if you click this, it's going to pull up an extra tab on your phone or on your PC, and it's going to give 50k per one, which is 500,000 silver. So it's another way to earn some silver to help you out. But now we are done with that. What I'm going to do next is go to the missions, and we are going to defeat 50 champions of Classic Arena, and then I'm going to wait to upgrade one of my new pieces on my Aethel 2+16 to finish this mission. So I'll meet you guys back here once I've done those two, and then we're going to start tackling these next challenges along the way. And I may take a little pause to go out and farm for that attack percent chest of either 4-star or 5-star. Hopefully I get a 5-star. If I have to work with a 4-star for now, that's okay. So I'll meet you guys back here once I am done with that. All right, guys, I went and got an attack percent chest. I got 2. I got 1 4-star, and then the next one I got a 5-star. But I just want to go in and show you the difference that it makes on your character, and we're only 5-star. So remember that along the way, but I'm going to go ahead and go out of here. We finished the progress mission as well for Arena, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Now we have to take an artifact to level 16. So while I'm in here, I'm going to put the attack percent chest on and just show you guys the difference that it's going to make between a flat attack piece and a attack percent piece. So where is this chest? It's going to be this right here, 5-star. So I'm going to click it. Gives me an extra 132 attack. Now the substats on this are, ooh, they're bad. They are not good for a damage dealer. We were hoping for crit rate, crit damage, speed. Flat attack would have been even better, but we're going to have to work with it for now. So even though I got a 5-star, we're just going to have to take it and work with what we got. But the difference of 132 attack on her is almost the same amount that is here that we're only getting from the chest. So that is the difference of why attack percent is so important, even if you get a 4-star attack percent chest. So I did end up getting one of those. I went ahead and leveled it just so you can see the difference on it as well. We're getting an extra 74 attack, which is pretty substantial, over a flat attack chest. So that's the difference between percentage and flat, and that is, again, we're only 5-star. Once we're 6-star, the difference is even bigger because you have higher base stats. So just know, always go attack percent chest on your damage dealers or percentage. Just the percent stats give so much more in this game. It's actually ridiculous, and that's almost every game I play. The flat attack, I don't even know why they put them in the game. I guess just to dilute the gear pool is what I'm trying to say, to where it's harder to get the gear that you want. But I'm going to go ahead and just throw this on. Not the greatest. We will try to get a better one later, but that is going to make my Aethel so much better. So that's where, again, even if you have 4-stars, it's going to still be very good, especially if you're trying to use some kind of flat attack piece. But we're sitting here, we're looking at 72 crit rate. We're starting to get there. So the nice thing with 72 crit rate on Aethel is she's going to have an extra 15% chance of inflicting a crit on her skill 2. So we're almost there. We're almost to where that's max. Sadly, the skill 1 won't always crit, but as long as we can get to 85, which is very doable, we will be able to make sure that this is consistently critting all of the targets. So now from here, we had to upgrade a piece. What I'm going to do is upgrade the sword. The sword's going to give me extra flat. We're going to go from 142 to 225. That's going to be almost an extra 100 attack that we're getting on there. We do need survivability. We do need to upgrade the helmet and the shield. That is important. And when we upgrade the chest to the final level, it goes up to 50%. That's going to give us another huge damage bonus. But again, we would like to try to only plus 16 the better pieces of gear we get. So the longer it takes getting the pieces of 16 isn't always a worst case scenario, because it's better to try to get a better piece, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 16, see how much gold it drains me. Almost 1 million. We did get some flat HP there, not the best, but the flat attack's going to be huge. That's going to finish this, so we're going to get some extra stamina out of this. So now, if you guys are curious why I have so much stamina, is I went and did some of the Arbiter missions, or not Arbiter missions, the Call of the Arbiter or whatever. Over at the side, I watched a few of those stories and claimed those. I'm going to end up claiming all of them today as I'm grinding. But the next mission is now to crank through this and get all of our characters to 3-star Ascension. With getting them to 3-star Ascension, we're going to be getting a little bit of help from finishing these missions here. So winning 10 greater arcane potions from stage 7 or higher. This is going to be the biggest difference in our account. And now that we got the decent gear on our characters or are working on it, if you have to go out and get a few more pieces, that's fine. But we at least have a good starting point. And then we're going to be able to go up and tackle the higher difficulties of Clan Boss. Once we get the Ascensions, it's going to give us so much more survivability and those extra skills. With Venomage getting 3-star Ascension, we're going to take 15% less damage from the boss, which is huge. And then Twanrik's going to be giving us a cleanse at the start of each of our turn. Those 3-star Ascensions are so massive. So I'm going to go ahead in here, and we're going to just go to the highest difficulty of Ice Golem's Peak that we can beat. So I'm going to go in and try 12, and if I do end up failing a stage or looking like I'm failing a stage, I'm going to back out and go to the one below it. And then I'm not going to do super raids. We may end up burning and losing a stamina or two here, but we want to make it through these first few missions before we start trying to farm the Ascensions, so we're not counterproductive in our stamina spending. So if we were to go farm the Ascension on our character now, and then we have those missions coming up, then we kind of just wasted our time. So go ahead, battle through this. I'll come back and show you what I was able to beat. But again, all of our gear will be a little bit different at this point. It shouldn't make too much of a difference, but it could be the difference between being able to beat stage 13 versus beating stage 12. So I'll come back and let you know how my thing went, and then hopefully you can go from there, or you can just try it yourself. So I'll be back in a second once I have finished getting these 5 and 6-star drops. Are actually relatively hard, so you will potentially have to farm a lot. All of these missions are just RNG. It's going to be, do you get lucky? Do you not get lucky? Some of them you'll get lucky. Other ones you're going to sit there and hate yourself for an hour while you're trying to finish the mission. But I'll see you guys back here once you are done with it, or to give you an update as to what I farmed. I was able to farm up to, I believe it was stage 14. So when going into these missions, 13, I was able to do 13. Going into these missions, maybe could have did 14, but I was kind of pushing it on 13. The thing is, most of our champions are magic affinity, so we're actually going to be good against spirit, which is green. So that's generally going to be the go-to stage, but any red stage we're going to struggle against. So I would say stage 11 was harder than stage 13, which is funny, but I ended up getting the 5 artifacts, and from here, this is where the grind starts, and I'm going to let you guys off on your own, but I will not be done with the video yet. We will come back once I farmed a lot of this stuff out, which means this video is going to take longer to come out. I apologize, but I don't want to just have this as a really short thing. I want to cover as much as I can. Okay, I'm going to throw this in there just as a portion because I had to cut out. I tried to use some promo codes, none of them worked. I'm just going to let you know I have no promo codes that'll work right now. I've tried all of them. I will put a list of the promo codes down in the description for you guys. You can try each different one of them, try a different one each day, but I've already reached a point. I've entered like 3 or 4 promo codes. None of them are working. Past that, I will try 1 week gift here, and I'll try it right now. This is the last one that has potential to work, and it still doesn't work. So I think I'd have to wait 1 more day. That one might work, but the rest of them, I cannot get any promo code to work on this account because I have used the ones that are available. So see if it works, and it's not. So be sure to try to use WelcomeGift. That's the most important. Getting Bellower is huge for your account, but not necessary. I won't have them, so any of you guys that don't have them, it's okay. But now from here, I'm going to go ahead and get back to the video. What I want you to do, I'm going to have you go out and start farming through these missions. With these missions, it's going to be going up to the highest stage you can of whichever one you can beat, and then just hitting that one until you finish the mission. So this one I was able to hit 13, or I just hit 13 until this was done. So I'm going to go ahead and claim this. Then you have to earn 3 stars, Palace of Ravia on hard difficulty. We've already fully cleared hard campaign. Next, it's 3 tier 2 masteries for 4 champions. If you need to finish this, you need to go into Minotaur and do a little bit more. Again, go to Hell Hades when checking masteries on characters. All of my characters, 2-star masteries, I believe, are done. So, and that was just from the previous farming that we did. So I'm going to go ahead and claim this. Now are the grinding missions. You have to win 10 greater arcane potions from stage 7 or higher. Then we have to win the artifacts from Dragon Slayer. Then we have to go back and do our magic, and it's going to be one of these for each. Then we're going to get to the upgrade and affinity bonus to level 2. I'll meet you guys back here once we are to the affinity bonus leveling up mission. And then we're just going to keep pushing through this, using our gems to refresh our stamina, to keep knocking out as much of these as we can, because we want to get as far in the Arbiter missions while the keeps are all open. And I'll meet you guys back here once you make it to the Affinity bonus mission. Okay, so once you get to the mission where you need to upgrade an Affinity bonus, you're going to have to do some Arena. So Arena is getting a little bit easier. I am able to climb, but at this point, Arena is still going to be very hard. As your Twanner gets ascended some more, she will end up soloing a lot of the teams. It's just part of right now. Tholan's going to hit you. Tholan's going to be one of the big ones. When he hits you, it's going to feel bad. You're going to be like, why didn't I start with Tholan? Over time, your Twanark will start just soloing teams, and that's just part of early Arena. Then you'll get to a point where she'll stop, but Twanark is really good. Trust me, along the way, once we get into Hydra, once we get into Chimera, she is so useful that you will not regret having her on your account. Now, those of you guys that took Tholan, he's still going to be amazing up until you're the one doing the bullying in Arena. But with Arena, once you get to the point where you need to upgrade a second Affinity bonus, you will come over to your accuracy and upgrade that. So our next goals is we're going to have to upgrade a second Affinity bonus to level 2, and then we have to have attack upgraded for each different element besides Void, and we'll get 100 gems for that. So go ahead and do that. Continue pushing through the missions, and then once you get to the next mission with the Affinity bonus, come back here. There is one mission where you need to farm Minotaur to get a level 3 mastery. Once you get to that point, use the Hell Hades website link in the description for each of your characters. And again, once we get to the end of this, I will show a recap of where my account is. And as you're farming also your keeps, you want to start ascending all your characters to 3-star ascension. That once you get to that 3-star ascension, you'll start getting the extra bonuses of your Twanark's going to cleanse 1 debuff at the start of each return, and your Venomage, whenever there's the unhealable debuff that he places on the enemy, they will do 15% less damage. Those two things are the biggest upgrades that you can do. Tagoar's level 3 ascension also helps, but Narma's is just unlocking a accuracy lead for herself, an aura ability, so it's not as good, but the extra stats and everything you get along the way will be useful. But your core team, you want to keep working on them as you go through the missions. But I'll meet you back here once you're to the second Affinity bonus upgrade. Okay, so along the way, as you see, my gem count is lower. I've grabbed every single stamina out there. I am level 36, so once you get to level 36, you're also going to unlock the on the faction warrant, you're also going to unlock the clan boss here for Chimera. With Chimera, whenever the timer is near the end, you want to try to hit it 2 times. With Chimera, it's the same as your regular Demon Lord. This is a newer content, came out last year, but it is, or earlier this year, I think it was last year. It was last year. But this content, you are able to get a free mythical champion, which is insane, by the way. Those of you guys who don't know mythicals yet, you will learn very quickly. But they are going to be the rarest characters in the game, but you will end up getting a free one of them. So the sooner you start hitting this, the better. You're just going to go in with your core team, try to do as much damage as you can. What you're going to end up doing is using 2 different keys on it. So you're going to go in, claim your reward, go in again and claim your reward. The idea of this is wait until the timer is lower, because your team will be stronger from you playing through the game. Now, when that is unlocked, you will be able to do that, as well as, I don't know why I said that, but you will also be to the mission portion for upgrading 2 Affinity bonuses to level 2. Once you get to this point, you can come in here and go ahead, and I'm just going to upgrade this attack one to level 2. It did take me quite a bit of farming, but that will finish that mission. Now from here, I actually went and did a little side grinding. So you guys might not be level 35 yet, but I just was doing a bunch of stuff before I came back to the video, because where we are ending this part of the guide is going to be at the very end, fusing Justiciar. So, or Justiciar, I don't know how to say it. I don't know what just came out of my mouth. What is his name? Hold on. So with fusion characters, you come into fusion and you go over to your characters, and you have Relic Keeper here. You can fuse the character Lady Mikage. That is one of the big changes you can do on your account. As a free-to-play player, it takes a while. As a spender, it took me like 3 months to do a bunch of summons to get the characters. Most of them are commons that you need. One of the harder ones is the Void. You do have to do quite a bit of Void summons. And then from there, it's getting the epics. They do have events that are guaranteed epic champions for going for her, which is really nice. You do 40 summons and you guaranteed get one of these epics. And if you're a spender, when those events come, you just gotta make sure you take advantage of them. Otherwise, it's going to take you a while, and it could take you a very long time depending on how lucky you are. But the sooner you get your clan boss set up to where you're getting the summons, the quicker that's going to go. But the whole reason I went into there, I should not have backed out, is Justiciar is right here. What is his actual name? Justiciar. Why am I a potato with reading? Justiciar? Justiciar? It's like hard to say. Okay, I always call him Justiciar. Hopefully that's close, but his name is Just, so I doubt that is anywhere close to how to pronounce that. But going with that, you need to go in and get these characters from campaign. So you're going to, I talked about this earlier, you're going to need to get a War Maiden, you're going to need to get a Diabolus, you're going to need to get a Spirit Host, and you're going to need to get a Harris. In order to do this, you can click them, and if you do not have them, it'll tell you where to get them, but I'll just show you real quick. It's going to be in campaign. So you're going to have to farm Durham Forest. When I farm for these, I always farm stage 3 because you don't care about any of this gear. This is crit rate gear. I mean, if you want to try to go for speed, crit rate boots, it's not the worst thing ever, but you're going to have to go for a chest or something else along the way, and that could kind of replace speed set for your Aethel for your extra 2 pieces to try to make sure you get to 100 crit rate, because crit rate set gives you an extra 12% crit rate. Then from there, once you farm this could take you a ton of stamina, but you want to make sure you're farming fodder. So for this one, you can just bring your Aethel and 3 fodders. You should have no problem, or whoever your starter was, or using Tholen, that works as well. And then from there, once you do eventually get the Spirit Host drop, this took me thousands of stamina, by the way, but I was farming for 6 stars along the way, getting my fodder leveled up. Then you're going to go over to Palace Aravia. Most likely, if you farmed up a little bit of gear, you've already gotten your Harris. So you need at least 1 Harris from this, and you're going to have to take her to 3-star Ascension, as well as just level up to 30. You don't have to promote her to 4-star or anything. Just take her to level 30. You're good to go. But if you have not got that, you'll have to come back and just farm for gear for your characters along the way with Harris. That's the nice thing about this one, is it's double dipping. It's getting 2 things done. Next, you need to go to the Deadlands. So you got to repeat the same process. Again, I generally farm stage 3 because shields sell for the most. But with this, I still was having to bring 2 characters in order to farm it and level up 2 other ones on the side. But you're going to need to get the character War Maiden. War Maiden, it's ideal you get 2, but for right now, just getting 1 is good enough. And then we can come back once our starter character is able to farm solo by themselves, and we'll just farm for her and get more experience along the way. But once you get that, the last one you need to get is going to be Diabolus. So Diabolus is going to be in Chapter 12. You come in. This is the main stage you farm, by the way, is 12-3. This is the go-to stage. If you use Tholen, I believe you can go to 12-6. I believe you can go to 12-6. It is easier to farm, and the gold difference isn't that much, but for the general player who's starting with someone who is magic affinity, Tholen is force, so that's why down here, force is better against this one. Vort versus force against this, it's weak against every character, so Tholen's not going to farm 12-3 easily. But for anybody using their starting magic character, Aethel, Kale, whoever, this is going to be the stage, and you will continue to farm the stage once you get your starter up to 6-star. This will be the main place you come in and sink your stamina into to make your 6-star characters. And then the shields again sell for more than all the other ones by a slight margin, to where you'll earn more silver along the way. So that is the next things you're going to work on besides clearing out the mission. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this, grab all of this, get some extra stamina along the way, and then you're just going to go in and fight the different dungeons. Now, there's a mission to ascend a champion to level 5 Ascension. For that, you can either do the 2-star trick of getting a 1 or 2-star up to 5-star, because you're going to be needing that anyway to promote your first 6-star character. You can do that, or you can go in and take your Tagoar or your Venomage to level 5 and ascend them. I'm going to be taking my Tagoar up to 5-star and ascending them, just because I want my Tagoar to have more survivability right now. So that will be what I do. Venomage will be the last one. Again, also, you're going to have skill books. With skill books, you want to try to time your skill books for a tournament of some kind, preferably a champion training event, because you get points for how many books you use for the tournament to help you get those rewards faster. So that's why I'm saving mine. But I preferably would do Tagoar first, because these cooldowns completely change him as a character. If you can get his skill 2 on max cooldown, it turns it to a 3-turn skill instead of a 5-turn skill, to where you have increased speed and more healing on your team, which is very important. And then this is on a 7-turn cooldown. If you can get this into a 5-turn, that is going to be the dream. He becomes so much better of a character. Right now, he kind of struggles because only having the revive every 7 turns is insane. Venomage is going to be our second book character, though, for sure. With Venomage, he has the skill, or all the debuffs, but whenever you get the buff chance placements up, plus the cooldowns on his skills, he becomes so much better as well and more consistent. Those two, either one you do first is fine. I preferably am going to go for Tagoar first, because I'd rather have the survivability versus the guaranteed of these debuffs proccing, but different people would give you different advice on this. So if you've heard to do Venomage first, from like I saw it in my Discord, you can do Venomage first. It's not going to be a big deal. You will get enough epic books over the beginning of the game that you will be able to get both of them boosted up and ready to go. So now I want you to continue grinding through these missions, get your 5-star Ascension character. That one may take you a while, and then when you do that, you're going to be able to boost another character level 50. Preferably, this is why I'm doing Tagoar. Okay, so once you guys have gotten through all of the missions and ascended your characters, I'll show what all I did so you guys see, but I'm going to be doing the part 3 recap. Going in here, I'm going to go through each character. So my Narma is 5-star ascended. It's just how it worked out. I had the potions for it. Then we have our Aethel at 5-star ascension, which we did a little bit too early, but we made the workaround work. Next up, we have our Twadrak at 3-star ascension, our Tagoar at 3-star ascension, and our Venomage at 3-star ascension. If they're not all 3-star ascended, you're fine. That's just something that you can work toward. You will get some potions from your ascension potions from doing clan boss and other things along the way, and we're gonna have more missions for farming the different keeps, so you'll get them. You do not have to worry about finishing that right now. So I have these 3. I did end up taking another 2-star to 5-star ascension. Sorry, earlier in the video, if you heard me say take a 1-star to 5-star, that doesn't work, by the way. I did take this one to 5-star just to double check it, but you cannot ascend 1-stars. You can only ascend 2-stars and higher. So if you're trying to do the ascension mission, it has to be a 2-star, but it costs almost no potions to take them all the way up to ascension 5, which makes everything way easier. Now, I do have enough fodder at this point. I have 2 5-star chickens, and I have 3 5-star heroes. That's enough to take my Aethel up to 6-star. But the problem with that is I'm going to be waiting until there's a mission to take her to 6-star. So I will cover that. If you've already taken her to 6-star, you'll have to make another 6-star for that mission. If you're buying packs, then you are going to be able to get a 6-star super easy from this. We're going to be getting 2-star fodder from this, and then if you are, and what I'm talking about is if you spend the $15, you get a full 5-star plus some extra 4-star materials down here, which is huge. But then from there, if you do have some kind of champion pass event going on at the time, which a lot of you will, because this is available for another 11 weeks, you will be able to, but I think you have to start it by January. So anybody past January, you might not have this, but this feast right here will give you an instant 6-star. So whatever character you use this on, it's another way to get an additional 6-star character, and you could utilize that to get your next 6-star for the next batch of missions if you've already done it. Hopefully you haven't, hopefully you've been following along, but our whole goal was getting our promotion materials ready to take her to the next step. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and take my Harris out because we are going to be doing Justiciar. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw a 1-star in here for now and go back out. And what I'm going to do is just use potions to level up my characters just to make this fast. You guys can go farm if you'd like, but I'm just going to do this together with you so you can see. I've already 3-star ascended all of them. If you need a 3-star ascend anything, you can go out and take your and farm some keeps to get the potions for the 3-star ascensions. Now from here, we got our Harris. Go ahead and boost her up. And that should be all 4 characters, I hope. Now, one thing, if you guys have not claimed your rewards from going through campaign, you are going to be getting 100 brews from this one, which is going to give you a ton of just sit back, relax, and boost up your characters, because the ultimate goal with the Arbiter missions is get as far as you can, as fast as you can, while all of your keeps are still open. So I still have about 2 days left on mine. The only issue with this is we start getting arena missions. Those arena missions are going to be hard, and once you get to those, it becomes very annoying to move on to the next mission. So I'm going to be doing gym refreshes until I get up to that point, and then a lot of these gems are going to be going into masteries for farming, or to get our characters up to the max mastery War Master. Trying to think what it's called, but we're trying to get to max mastery so we can unlock War Master, which is going to give us a lot of extra damage. With that, though, we're going to have to 6-star more characters along the way. Okay, so going in now, we're going to go to the portal, we're going to go to Fusion, and we're going to go to Relic Keeper, and then come down to Justiciar, which I always say his name wrong. Okay, I'm not going to harp on that here. I'm going to go ahead and throw all the characters in. So my Spirit Host is not level 30, so I will have to go boost her up. Let me do that real quick. And then we can go ahead and finish this mission out. So I'm just going to use red potions. I know I'm not matching potions, but that's for sake of the guide. And here we go. Try to be as efficient as possible when you're going through, but I need to get this video up because a lot of you are waiting. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and fuse our Justiciar, or whatever you say his name is. And once that is done, we get a Void Champion. This is a very big thing within the game. If you guys have not seen some of the other fusions, there is a legendary fusion that you can do that isn't too hard, and then Broodmaw is actually a really good character too, so you can take 2 stars to fuse up to these, and then I believe these 2 are going to have to come from summons, but hopefully you get them over time. Now with this though, this fusion, he's a reviver. He's very good, especially for faction wars. So we will talk much more about faction wars in the next video because we're going to have to work on other things outside of our core team. So from here, we go ahead and claim this last mission. Going to give us a lot of gems and another sacred shard. So I'm sitting on 2 sacred shards, about to be 3 once I go back and fully finish the next mission. Now we have a mission to upgrade a champion to rank 6. This is where a lot of you guys are going to leave off on and be stuck on. With this, I will go ahead and do the recap, and we're going to start the next part of the guide with this mission, upgrading our starter champion, or if you want to do Tholan, if you start with him, you can, but one of your first champions to rank 6. And I will see you all in the recap video going over all my gear, all my everything as to where exactly my account is, so you can check up before you start the next part 5 of the guide.